I'm with Joshua Wold from Bugsnag. Hi, Joshua.
Hi, Martin. How are you?
Fine. You've been with Atlassian for a while, but you're no longer. I see this Bugsnag company. What is it?
Sir, Bugsnag is an exception handling platform. So as people write software, inherently there's logic errors or things that don't work when you execute the software. And what we do is our library sits alongside your software, your application, and it automatically watches for those exceptions. And when those exceptions happen, we collect all the information around what's going on so you can understand quickly how many users a given bug or error is affecting and capture all the information with it so you can quickly reproduce and fix it. So all the diagnostics information. So you can ship code, launch it up, and quickly understand, like, is this code working as I intended? If it's not, what do I need to fix? How do I need to slice and dice that to fix it? And then what data do I need to go about fixing that? And then obviously, because we're part of the Atlassian world, it ties into Jira and HipChat and Bitbucket for code and all the other things like that.
Okay, which programming languages do you support?
Yeah, great question. So it's actually full stack. So it's mobile, so iOS and Android, front end, JavaScript, etc., and then all the back end, Java, PHP, Perl, etc. So we're pretty much a full stack shop. So quite a few of our customers are actually using the full stack. Sometimes some customers just use one and it expands onto the other ones, but it's a full stack environment.
Okay.
Every stack is also a little different too. So there's intricacies here. So for example, I mentioned earlier that you can collect user information with the crash or with the error. Some stacks like Symfony or some ones like that, it's all automatic. Like we know the framework, the users are part of the framework. Other ones you have to instrument that. So you can say, well, I want to send user data and this is what it looks like, or I want to send some other custom data and this is what it looks like. So we have to treat every stack a little bit differently depending on what it looks like.
Okay, understand. What is the prerequisites? What do I need to have this starting?
Yeah, there's really no prerequisite. I mean, it's just basically, do you have code? Do you ship that code to users, either internal or external? And then do you have the ability to kind of iterate on that code? So we can tell you all the errors that are there, and we can help you decide.
What is it, Bamboo or Jenkins, or who's doing that?
Oh yeah, the build part doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter how you're building. You can use Bamboo, Jenkins, Circle CI, whatever you want to do. All you have to do is push code out and insert our code as part of that. So we've got a little library, an SDK basically, that you insert in your code as you write your code, and then when it's pushed out to the world, our code's executing at the same time your code is and kind of watching for things that are going bad. That's the only prerequisite. And so,
okay, now I understand.
Yeah, so from a deploy perspective, you can use those tools like Jenkins or whatever to tell us about a deploy that's occurred, and that's useful information for us so we can version things and we know what code is live, what code's not, and what could change to make that code happen, but we're not dependent upon any part of that build process.
What are you describing? It sounds as if it was all automatic, or is there manual processes involved?
No, the only manual bits are basically figuring out if you want to send extra information. So, whether or not a user is on a paid tier or free or other things like that. But everything else is all automatic. It's just an SDK. You watch for data and seeing where your crash happens.
Can you give me a real life example of a customer using that and what he uses it for and why he likes that?
Sure. Couple examples. Hotel Tonight, they use us in all their apps, back end, front end, etc. And what they do is they release every couple weeks, and when they release, they basically have a KPI for the release. And it's basically, did my code perform as expected? There's basically a crashes per session KPI that they use that says, every release happens, I quickly watch to see if something bad is going on, but I also, not just if something's bad's going on the first minutes, it's also what is my general health of this release in relation to past releases? Am I getting healthier over time or am I getting worse over time? It's Hotels Tonight. Another example is Pandora. They use it for on the mobile side of things, and they use it.
That's this radio service, right?
Yeah, for us in the US it is. Sorry, Germany. I don't think they're there yet, but it's the largest radio service, internet radio service here in the US. And they use it to differentiate whether somebody's a paying customer or a free customer. And so they want to know what is my customer's experience for those who are on paying plans and what are those on free plans. And it matters to them in terms of what they prioritize as fixing.
Oh, awesome. Let me finish with a personal question. You've been with Atlassian.
I was with Atlassian. Yep.
You left them. Why did you?
Oh man, you're making it personal. So Atlassian, I was with Atlassian for 6 years. It's a fantastic company. I love it to death. My heart is still with Atlassian. I left it frankly because Atlassian's really well known for not only their products but how they bring their products to market, and I played a key part of that in Atlassian's growth. And so many companies since Atlassian have been bringing me in to try and help them build a company that's really all about product and all about solving real felt needs with that product and going to market in that fashion. and rather than a kind of a more traditional top-down sales approach.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Joshua Wold from Bugsnag.